Howdy, I'm Nick.
I'm Tora.
And this thing over here in a stripy jumper is Solo. And this is London Creative Out and About. And together we are climbing Moss. And we have been doing the Climbing Moss Heart of London walk for the last 9 months. And today we thought we'd just go through it and tell you what we found and what we discovered and so forth. We're sitting out in the sun on almost the last bit when we did the route. This was the last park that we came across. So, what was the Climbing Moss Heart of London walk? Well, we did the Capital Ring walk last year and we followed it and we did the entire circuit, and then we went. It was okay, but it has hay fever. It's scared of grass and trees and so forth. It was okay, but we could do better. So we did. We plotted out a route, and it's 25 sections originally. It ended up being 24, but we'll come to that in a minute. In the end, 130 miles, which is 210 kilometres, and it was a journey by foot and other means that circumvented London. We would suggest that you do one section on a bike, but we'll come to that as well.
We did also take a big break.
Yes, and we also took a break through the winter because it was getting so dark before we even started. So we got to November and took a break and started again in March to finish it off.
And Solo.
And because of problems with Solo, her back, all of that sort of hindered us as well.
And our modes of transport changed three times.
As you will see, from section 16 to 24, you can count. She went from walking to a red rucksack to a black rucksack to the caravan, which we've got with us now. Gradually getting bigger, and Tora having to carry her because I can't carry her. My back goes. Yes, Climbing Moss is our blog. We've been running for 7 years now, and we do reviews and
coffee reviews,
product reviews, and sometimes rant about stuff, sometimes share our opinions on stuff, and sometimes make lists of things. And so if it sounds interesting, go to see climbingmoss.com. And if you want to do the Climbing Moss Heart of London walk, there is a section with all of the PDFs, section by section, and you just download it, follow along, and we've worked it all out for you so that it's right and you won't get lost.
Like we did.
We got lost. We got muddy. We fell over into streams. I did. We got pulled in and out of everything, possibly by this thing. But you won't have to, and you won't have to go the wrong way, or we've worked it all out for you. It's all on the PDF. Download it, read it through, follow the maps. Sorted. One thing I forgot to mention, in all of the rucksacks and the sections and how far it is and all that, how many times her hair changed colour? I don't know. Maybe you can count and tell us underneath if you followed along.
Now I want to know.
You have to go back and count. Mine just stays purple, naturally. We have done all of the sections and walked every section, and then realised some of the points, you know what, this is wrong. The section of Debden to Fairlop, we realised that once you get out of Hainault Park, you really don't want to walk the Forest Road. It's 2 miles just in a straight line. It's a main road, an A road. It's horrible. So we went back into the map and went, get the bus. And subsequently, sections 15, 19, 20 and 21, we walked, and then realised that you don't actually need to walk. You can get the bus because it's just walking along the main road.
You can walk if you want.
You can walk. You could do it.
It's just boring.
It's just boring.
And there's nothing to see.
Section 20 was 25 routes, and we took out section 20 because from Elstree to High Barnet, section 20 was literally one main A road, like High Street, and then walk along the A1 that becomes the motorway, and it was horrible. We curtailed section 19 and said get on the bus and go from there to High Barnet, and then do section 20 was High Barnet to Cockfosters. It's all worked out for you. So should you do it? And we really need you to do it, because if we get people to do it, we can then apply for it to become an official walk. with the Ramblers Association and TfL. You could do it on a bike. Talking of Barking to Woolwich Arsenal, we recommend you do it on a bike. Having walked it, we recommend you do it on a bike. You need to do this section because it's the only way to get across the river on the east of London. Do it on a bike. Hire a bike. Use your bike, whatever.
Don't hire a lion bike.
Don't hire lion bikes because they're scary. So I almost died last week on one. That's a whole different story. Whole different video. Section 3, the Walthamstow section, there's 2 variants. If you've got a pulling machine, then you're not allowed in Walthamstow reservoirs, so you have to go round. So we did the going around version where you find the giant head. Then we went back and we went through Walthamstow reservoirs and joined that section and then carried on. Lots of variants, all things worked out, all done for you to go and do it yourself.
You don't have to have a dog, but we've made it so it's dog accessible.
Yeah, that doesn't mean go and steal someone else's dog just so you
You
can
could
do
do
it.
borrow my doggy app.
Yeah. So in the end, what did we think of our own walk? Well, there are definitely points that we liked and there are points that we didn't like, and places we will go back to and places we most definitely will never go back to ever again.
Hell.
Yeah. First section, been there, done that. Not terrible. I mean, all of this said and done, when you walk it, you might have different opinions, but we just, the bits that we didn't like on this were the aforementioned bad coffee is in Bowes Park. Bowes Park, I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know where it was, but it's just north of Alexander Palace. Never heard of it. It's little Greece. Every shop is Greek, except for the Italian coffee shop. That's really narrow. It is literally that wide. Yeah, and they have jazz nights. God knows how. But the coffee was truly disgusting. It was vile. We literally took one sip and threw it in the bin. Equally, Barking. Barking is horrible. And if you live in Barking, we're sorry. I hope you move soon.
Good squirrels.
Very, very friendly squirrels. 10 out of 10 on the social squirrel scale.
Zero for social.
But there's one redeeming factor of Barking, and we'll come to that in the thing. She doesn't believe me. There was one really nice bit of Barking, and I'll try again. Enfield Chase.
£3 beer.
£3 beer. There was a sign outside this pub when we got to the end of the section Trent Park to Enfield Chase pub, and it said
Craft beer.
craft beer,
£3.
£3.
All craft beer.
So we went, oh, okay, let's go in. Went in, ordered 2 pints of IPA, and he went £14.90, please. It was like, it wasn't even like a reasonable price. I was like, hold on, this is £3. He went, oh yeah, that's the beer round the corner, down the thing, through there, down there, in the other bar. What other bar? Oh, the one over there through there that's shut. So why is there a sign outside saying £3 beer? Oh yeah, well, I can sort of see what you mean, but it's £14.90, please. So yes, this pub, don't go in it. It's a rip-off. The
Also,
New
the
River.
people were wanky.
That's a review of that pub. The New River Walk. We're on the New River right now. This bit of grass is the New River Walk. Underneath us is still the New River, which is not a river and it's not new. For the water filtration system from Bedfordshire to Sadler's Wells, you can walk it. And I've always wanted to do it. And I've done it now, and it's like, right. There are sections like this is quite pretty and sort of things, but some of the sections are just like a river and grass, and there's nothing on it. Be warned, it's not great, but there are bits in between which make up for it. But that said, the Hillingdon Trail out in West, so Ickenham, and between Southwold and Ickenham. The Hillingdon Trail is like, well, it's a bog. So people do all of this in the summer because mud is a contributing factor. It's very, very loosely marked. Of course, you're not going to have to follow the Hillingdon Trail. You're following the Hearts of London Walk, and you have a map worked out for you. And because we tried to follow the Hillingdon Trail, and it didn't make it. Carpenter's Park. Back to the bad coffee. Carpenter's Park was a really random place. It was on the Thameslink line, and we went to Perk Coffee. Oh my god, that was sugar in a bowl.
This much coffee, that much sugar.
It was gross. The mocha had that much chocolate, and then it was just sugar milk, and also anyway. The donut in Epping Forest. There is a sign that says the donut, local attraction. We were like, oh, the donut. Wonder what it is. Big, massive thing, big sign. And we're like, you got there? Yeah. We still don't know what it was. It was just an empty flat piece of flat grass.
Yeah.
There was
like a crop circle.
huge. It was like 400 metres across. It was like,
It was where aliens landed.
yeah. Places we're glad we went to.
Richmond.
She loves Richmond.
Yeah.
Richmond, yeah, just because there's deer and they come up to you and you can say hello to them. The big problem with Richmond and all of that section, the airplanes, the flight path into Heathrow. Literally every 90 seconds a plane goes overhead and they are like that high, you know, just above your head. You have to duck every now and then. So
Maybe
it's
exaggerating.
slightly. Barking Abbey grounds. The old Abbey, we walked through, so I don't think she even realised we walked through. The old Abbey ruins. We just sort of went through very quickly and out the other side and into a churchyard, which was really nice. But it was really quiet and really like chill. It was really mellow and it was really lovely. But it was in Barking. Apart from the squirrels and then the Abbey grounds and then the church, and then it was back to River Road was okay, but River Road in Barking is like as wide as this road. The River Road in Debden, I stepped over, it's this wide. It literally goes from that to this. Weird how a river grows. Again, you probably don't even know. Go to Shipwreck, where you got all the rose hips.
Ah.
You have to do word association. We like Sevendriggs Castle. Well, I like it because it's a little triangular thing. But it's never ever open. It's got really nice view out of it. But every single time you ever go there, it's shut. And apparently it opens on Friday, Saturday and Sunday between 10 and 1.
On every third month.
Every... It's like...
In a blue moon.
I think it's like cream teas. It's only open when there's a month without an R in the month.
Cream teas?
Yeah, you only need to have cream tea in months that don't have an R in them.
What's a cream tea?
Scones and cream and jam and tea.
Okay.
Sometimes it's like it's from another world. Quite a lot. Yeah, look. What? Oh, random. Your antennas.
No.
You want a dog? She's just had an operation on her belly. That's why she's wearing a jumper in the middle of summer.
Oh, so she's going to the beach.
Well, she's going to, she's a Victorian bather. We'll come to the beach in a bit. That's one to mention. Osterley Park. Glad we've been there. Did that. But it's very much like Syon Park. It's a big old house, quite cool. A nice coffee shop with a big park. But there's not a great deal there. And we walked through it and it was okay. Yeah? Mm-hmm. We sort of got there as the sun was setting behind you, so it was very pretty.
Yeah. Quite dark.
It was getting dark and we had to walk across the M1 or M11. M1, I think. Yeah. Big main motorway and it was cold. It was really cold. The High Street in Southall, that was probably the highlight of that entire walk. Walking along Southall High Street, all of the shops selling the saris and the wedding dresses and things. I was just like, we just kept going, oh wow, that's pretty, oh that's lovely. The amount of time she stopped and was like going, oh that's pretty, oh that's lovely, I like that. It was a pink dress. Her in the pink dress.
It was a pink.
It was a pink.
Turquoise.
It was a turquoise one. It was a pink one.
It was like ombre.
South Oxhay Woods, great for birds of prey, and also the sculpture trail. That was quite good. We like that. We did the loop
Even
round.
though it's kind of hard to find the sculptures.
Yeah, sometimes they're a bit like
The random thing behind a tree underneath the log. And there was a frog in a mud puddle.
Where else are you going to find a frog? I mean, Carpenter's Park Cemetery. Random one. Not the cemetery itself, and not Carpenter's Park where the truly horrendous coffee came from, but the bit around the north of it. There was a stream and some waterfalls. It was really pretty, and there was birds and... Seriously? Waterfalls? No. Okay, that was really cool.
The Japanese garden?
No. No. The Japanese garden was another one in Trent Park. Trent Park is quite cool. We've got to go back to it. It's really nice and really lovely, and something to go back to. Where we are going to go back to? No, we did this at the end of the Capital Ring, and we're going to do the same thing. Stanmore, at the end of Jubilee Line. Stanmore has Stanmore Common to the west, and that's got a deer park, which we didn't get to because it was dark and raining.
And there was a gigantic puddle that prevented us from getting
there. The Bentley Priory.
I think that was Hell Day, wasn't it?
The whole of Bentley Priory was a swamp. We couldn't go. We had to go round it to go along the road to come out and go back in. So we didn't even get to it. And then following week, Stanmore Country Park by the London Farm View. Eagles, golden eagles, and brown eagles. We didn't know they were even in the UK, or apart from in Scotland. Apparently, yeah. And we've got to go back there. Epping Forest and mainly Connaught Water. If we can work out how to get to it without a car, because it seems to be in the middle of nowhere.
Fly!
And we should try and find Grimstow's Oak. We missed it, we lost it. Apparently there's an oak tree in Epping Forest. It's marked. There's no reason for it to be marked, but apparently it is an oak tree. It's not like the oldest oak tree like the Master was. Fairlock Waters Boulders. If we ever manage to get climbing again, we should go back to Fairlock Waters and climb the fake rock.
It's not really a fake rock, it is a rock.
It's man-made. It looks like the rocks here, but she was off taking photos of bunnies, but it was pouring down rain that day, so all the pockets had pools of water in them. Barking Park Wading Pond was cool and could be worth going back to if we didn't have to go to Barking to get to it. It's apparently known as the Unicorn Pedlos, but it's so shallow that there's tons and tons of wading birds. That's really cool. One we said last time from the Capital Ring and we didn't get to, and we've gone back this time. Beckenham Place Park down in Bromley. It's a really nice park, but every time we've gone, we've sort of just traipsed through it and gone out the other side and not had a chance to really explore. So we've got to go back there. Ravensbury Park and the Wandle Path, and then the Watermeads Reserve. The whole section, that whole bit, was really nice, and ton of herons and water birds and all manner of stuff, and again eagles nesting, but we didn't get to see them because it was getting really dark. Ruislip Woods and Lido, that's what I said. Beach, the only beach inside London, and it's actually a beach.
And you can't go in the water.
You're not allowed in the water. You're not allowed to swim or sunbathe.
Because there's green mold.
You're not even allowed to sunbathe in the middle of summer. They're banned. No, they closed it off. You're not allowed to be on. We walked along it, and that's all you're allowed to do is walk on it. You can't do anything else.
That's weird.
But it's where I took the header picture of I tried to take the header picture of the three of us, but this thing wouldn't stay still. And, yeah, do that.
Montauk deer.
Montauk.
Montauk.
Oh, I wrote Monkjack.
Montauk.
Ah, I'm going to have to change the PDF because I wrote Monkjack. I have to change it to Montauk.
What's a monkjack?
A deer. It's like that big and brown with a funny nose. So, finally, places we are never going back to ever again. You might like it. And especially given the fact that we now know what to do and what not to do. There's basically places that we told you not to go to because we know that it's wrong. First off, you can do it.
Hell.
Otherwise known as the farm in Chigwell.
The farm was nice.
The farm.
Freshly tilled ground is not nice.
Yeah, trying to walk on the public footpath, because you can walk through farms as public footpath. It sort of says go from here to here. In hindsight, we now say walk along the road and stay on the road and go the long way round, because it will take you far less time than trying to walk over the tilled ground, because it took us 3/4 of an hour to walk across one field. Why are you whining? Oh,
it's okay.
Oh. Oh, South Norwood and Croydon, Beddington farmland used to be open, is no longer open. Apparently it was just filled up with shopping trolleys and people set fire to mopeds and so forth in there. So they shut it off in 2019, on the idea that populate with wildlife and then reopen it. But they're never going to, because they've realised that it's better being shut. So you have to walk around it. As previously said, Woolwich and the Docklands and all of that section, yeah, do it quickly, do it on a bike or something like that. It smells of chips, grease and sugar. We did it on the day of the Queen's funeral, so it was completely shut down. Everything was shut.
Oh, it's a horrible, nasty place.
There's on the PDF, it does actually say when you get to the A406, avoid the travellers encampment, because it's just burnt out cars and piles of rubbish and stuff. That's why we said it on the bike. Ickenham and Hillingdon Trail, where she almost got bitten, and I almost lost my phone because the Hillingdon Trail, it says go across this little bridge thing, which is electrocuted. They almost got electrocuted in because there's a live wire in the water.
There is a warning there.
There is a warning, says live wire, do not go in the water. But when you touch the fence, I think you got electrocuted. But then I tried to jump across the stream.
Even though I told you not to.
Because that's what it said to do on the Hillingdon, and there's an arrow pointing. My phone fell off the cradle and almost went into water. It missed it by about that much. Thankfully, Tora retrieved it. Then you walk along the right side of it, and then it just turns back and goes back over the stream 50 metres down the path. It's like completely pointless. Stupid. Never going back there. Dirty, cold, and more travellers and people with really big, scary dogs. So that is what we have found on our own walk. All of the bad bits at the end, we've kind of told you how to avoid them, or warned you on the maps and things, so you don't have to do them. And all you have to do is go onto climbing-moss.com and download the PDFs. And
Ta-da!
Hi, what are you doing? There's a logo underneath on the screen.
Real life logo.
Okay, look. That.
Can you turn it around?
And you turn it around like that.
Ta-da!
And that's all of the socials. Go do that. Do it. And if you do it, and you download the PDFs and you follow it around each week, however you do it, wherever you go from, where you start or finish, it's up to you. But if you do videos or take photos, hashtag them CMHOL, and we'll see them on social media, and we'll get to see them as well. And as for us, what's next? Well, we'll be going back to some of those places, and we'll certainly film them. And there's other things. We've got some ideas for a couple of other random things to try and do. You'll see them if you subscribe. This is her own little graphic. It's just Tora's graphic. And if you come back and follow us, then you'll get to see all of these things. Also, if you haven't watched all of the sections, there's a playlist for the Climbing Moss Heart of London walk down there. There's the Capital Ring, there's dog walking playlist, there's all the videos on the channel of all the random places we've been to over the last,
what feels like forever.
Yeah, a few years. So we hope you like this, and give this a thumbs up and talk to somebody. If you're doing this, or if you started, or if you're gonna start, or whatever, talk to us. We shall see you again soon. I'm trying to find something to moosh towards the camera, but just so we can go bye.
Wrong place. Down a bit.
Down a bit. There we go. That one. I'm afraid we're going to get a load of talk.
Yeah, so the chat and some of the stuff like that.
It's been back about 6 times. Sorry. There's a screaming child. There's always a screaming child on this bit of the road. When we did this last time, there was a kid, and I'm sure it's probably the same kid. It's probably a kid in a rainbow jumper. And there's now an old lady looking at us.
When you get home, check for the grass seeds on your dog.
Yeah.
There was loads in Eric's hair. I just had to he was crying. I had to get them all out.
Okay.
But they get in the ears. And
Yeah, you had them before. Thank you.
Come on, little. Okay, I'll let you sit here. Come up here then. No, you have to talk alone. Come
Great.
up here then.
Do you like me daisies?
Yes. She's now going to sit behind us and talk.
Why should I call your dog Eric?
Eric. Why would you call Eric? It's better than Derek. But... So, try this again.
Sorry, Lou, would you like some water?
No, she wants coffee.
Ah.
Yeah, you will also realise that Tora says random things and the subtitles make no sense on her.
Meow. Foreign.
£3 beer. You're going as slow as possible on the loudest bike. £3 beer. Try again. Enfield Chase.
£3 beer.
£3 beer. I feel like I'm doing this. Instead, listen to this man shout.
People are entitled to talk, you know. You should register it.
We should register. We have to have someone else.
Route Master. No, Route.
Route Master's bus.
No, there's
Same colour as your hair.
Route something. Oh, Jauntly. You can register it on that.
The Walthamstow section, there's 2 variants. Stop it. Oh, God, it's like having a 2-year-old. Borry my doggy.
Borrow my doggy.
Go to Borry my doggy. You'll find a blank page, and then you can pretend it's a dog. Take a stuffed dog.
Stuart.
Don't go and steal someone's dog on Borry my doggy.
Do you think we should hire that and just like write down 101 ways to steal someone's dog? Use a high-pitched squealing noise. What's an annoying noise?
It's here. That was the one where... Why do people walk along with phones like this in front of them, shouting with the on speaker? She can't hear me, she's shouting over her phone. South Hox. Even though we've got the truly horrendous coffee, she's knocked your coffee over. Where are you going? Ugh. No. She sat
All
still
of that for the stick.
She wanted that. Hello. Why are you making wine yourself? What?
Say hi.
Oh, thanks, Solo. All over the iPad. And me. Something's happened to this dog. She's suddenly become sociable.
Solo, stop whining.
And stop standing on your water bottle.